Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Austin Underground. I'm Andres.
And I'm Livia. Today's episode continues last week's discussion of ACL, as well as diving into the latest music news and our thoughts about said news.
But before we get into all that, roll the intro.
Let's get into the latest music news. Paramore's frontwoman Hayley Williams has officially quit social media. On October 8th, she posted on Instagram a note explaining her relationship with social media and why she's decided to leave. Williams explained that she had been thinking about doing this for a while, but has decided to make it official. She closed the note saying that if you wanted to find her, you could look to Paramore's official Instagram.
A study by Music Watch finds that 2 out of 3 people encourage venues to implement COVID-19 protocols. If that means they can attend concerts, these protocols involve wearing masks, showing proof of vaccination, or a recent COVID test.
Eric Clapton, the rock and blues guitarist and songwriter, has reportedly given £1,000 to an anti-lockdown music organization called Jams for Freedom. The group then revealed Clapton's donation on social media. Clapton has been vocal about being against lockdown and other ways that help decrease the spread of COVID-19.
Fans of BTS are mad at Ticketmaster because it seems that there were tons of ticket scalpers that bought most of the tickets to the group's 4 shows at SoFi Stadium in California. The fans claim their pre-sale codes didn't work, and when the tickets went on general sale, all the tickets were gone. We've seen the power of BTS fans, so good luck, Ticketmaster.
Finally, Twitch and Warner Music Group have struck a deal together to create channels for artists. Some artists who will get music channels include Bella Poarch and Sweetie. WMG is hoping to bring new kinds of connections between artists and their fans with this collaboration. That's it for the news today. We do have to cut to break, but we'll be right back with more amazing content, so stay tuned. Hey everyone, welcome back to Austin Underground.
Let's join Mary and Mia to see what they have to say about Mitski and their latest music release.
New Mitski just dropped. This is huge. She has not dropped music since June 2018, other than a few features on soundtrack, and even those are extremely exclusive. One of the soundtracks she worked on, a graphic novel titled This Is Where We Fall, is only available to stream on vinyl and cassette. Yeah, you will not be able to find this version of Mitski on Spotify or Apple Music.
And if that doesn't show you how private Mitski is as an artist and how much of a privilege it is to even know her, the release of this new song, Working for the Knife, was first introduced a single day before its release on her Instagram and Twitter accounts that are run by her management. Previous to this, both accounts were completely deactivated, making fans absolutely unaware of when she would return next.
She had previously announced that she was done touring, breaking many, many fans' hearts, definitely mine.
But she has returned with her new single, Working for the Knife, streaming on all platforms, and a music video on YouTube with almost 2 million views in less than a week. Along with the single came a 2022 tour announcement. Tickets sold out in minutes, making it clear her fans' devotion has not waned in her 3-year absence.
I would even say her fans' devotion has grown stronger since. In regards to this new song, we each have our own interpretation. To me, it is definitely very Mitski-esque, discussion of pain, disappointment in self, and capitalist damnations.
And while I don't disagree with Mia's interpretation, I think the song could also serve as an explanation for Mitski's disappearance. The knife she's referring to is her pain that she has had to maintain to create art. The tortured artist stereotype has consumed her. In the last 2 lines of the song, it's, "And I end with the truth that I am dying for the knife." At that point in the music video, she is on stage with an empty concert hall, and faints, and then rises to give a rigorous performance that leads to her fainting again. The whole time, you can only hear her rapid breath and the applause of an audience that isn't there. Maybe over these years, she has realized that her music was no longer a way to vent as a creative, but also was draining her as a person.
It's interesting to note how even within the song, she mentions how she thought she would be done by 20, but at the age of 29, the road appears the same. Lush, her first album, was released when she was 21. Now this song releases a full decade later at 31. I interpret this lyric as her expressing consistent hopelessness in the face of a profit-driven system, a theme that is so prevalent within her entire discography. Specifically, her song, My Body's Made of Crushed Little Stars, from Puberty 2, one of my favorite albums, where she expresses, "I want to see the whole world. I don't know how I'm going to pay rent. I want to see the whole world." Further in the song is, "I better ace that interview. I should tell them I'm not afraid to die. I better ace that interview." This is a clear example of the repetitive theme Mitski embodies of the sense of complete loss of identity and life goals as a result of the required submission to capitalism.
Overall, we can both agree that this song is exactly what Mitski fans have been begging for. We are so excited to witness Mitski's return and cannot wait to see what else she has in store for her fans.
Wow, such great opinion. Now, Andres has some thoughts about an artist who performed at ACL. Their name is Sernia Aizsoma.
Please go. Oh, okay. Before I get into the segment about Sernia Aizsoma, I would like to set the record straight. A week ago, I said something along the lines of Serena only has like 6 songs and they're performing at ACL. I was wrong. They have like 11, which is just as impressive. Sernia Aizsoma is a self-proclaimed non-binary rock star who burst onto the scene early last year after TikTok got a hold of their song Sensitive, which then proceeded to blow up. It's sitting at about 56 million streams on Spotify right now, as well as having over 17,000 TikTok videos made using the sound. Side note, a surprising amount of them are fan edits of the anime My Hero Academia. But before they were known for their music, Serena was known throughout Chicago for throwing crazy house parties that frequently drew the attention of authorities. I think that accurately describes the appeal of their music. It's so energetic and self-affirming. Like when I'm listening, the only thing I'm thinking is, I'm awesome. When talking about their new single, Really Really, they said, people need to listen to this song because it's hella affirming. Like, yes, I am fresh to death. I'm the coolest person in my own world. Self-love is cool. And I mean, they're not wrong. Their songs are full of religious imagery that Serena uses for a meaning of their own, and they're honestly a lyrical genius. It's just so fun. A personal favorite of mine is Stop Calling the Police on Me. It's just so funky. So funky. Even though they have toured the country and performed at ACL, Serena Itzoma still does not have an official wiki page about them, and that is a crime. And that's all I have to say about Serena.
Thank you, Andres, for sharing your thoughts. I'll definitely have to check them out now. We have to cut to commercial, but we'll be right back. Stay tuned. We now have a panel about Britney Spears in light of recent news about her conservatorship. Let's see what Mary, Jacob, and Andres have to say about it.
Hey guys!
Hi.
So, we have a great Britney Spears panel in honor of her conservatorship ending, or close to being ending, depending on what happens November 12th. And we've come up with 5 songs that we think have really channeled her career, summarized her career. So, I'm going to start with Baby One More Time. It was released in 1998 on MTV. Britney was 16 when it was released and 17 when the music video was released, which got her first controversy too for the outfit she wore of the provocative Catholic schoolgirl, which had many parents up in arms over it, but MTV's Total Request Live also declared it the most iconic music video of all time in 2008.
Yeah, I definitely remember being in elementary school and kind of hearing that song all the time in like movies and everything. I think even if you don't know who Britney Spears is, you know that song. Everyone knows that song.
Everyone knows that song for real. And also to the controversial lyric, "Hit Me Baby One More Time." It was written by two Swedish artists who thought hit was American slang for call, like hit me up. But they were dumb and wrong.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, valid, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what's next?
What's next? Toxic by Britney in 2003.
Ooh, Toxic. Okay, I did a little bit of research on that one, and that one actually ended up being one of her biggest songs of all time. It won her first and only Grammy to date. It was used in other movies like, what was that movie?
Promising Young Woman,
Yes,
which
good
won
movie.
the Oscar for Best Screenplay.
There you go.
So it's still going strong for sure. It's also her #1 listened to song on Spotify with almost 700 million views.
And she's done a lot. She's been around.
Yeah.
I've definitely noticed that.
Yeah. So we're moving on to Circus, which was released in 2008. It was released right after the start of her conservatorship, where her father, Mr. Spears, took over her finances, and to many thought he took over full control of Britney's life. The song expresses feelings of being watched and controlled by the media. Some have also thought that she could be talking about being controlled by her management and her father, but that's hearsay. And it also started the Free Britney movement, where she has been in her conservatorship for 13 years.
Dang. Wow, that's a long time.
It's over a decade. She has been uncontrolled of her finances.
That was crazy too, because in that song she talks a lot about like, I'm the one in control, I'm the ringleader, blah blah blah. But like, it was like right about the time where she started losing like the most control in her life.
Interesting. I never thought about it like that.
It's, yeah,
Wow.
it's like sadder the more I think about it.
It is
The
pretty
songs
sad.
are so good.
Yeah, the songs are for real good. And now we cut to one of her last releases, which is Swimming in the Stars. It was released in 2020, but it was supposed to be released on her 2016 album. And it's electric pop, but it really hasn't changed from her sound in the early 2000s, which is why many think that maybe the conservatorship has stunted her creativity.
I definitely think that. I would definitely think that.
Yeah, she obviously hasn't been able to make a single purchase without her father's approval. She also hasn't been able to be married, so... no, wait, she hasn't married. Sorry. Yeah. But her father's lawyer and her lawyer have both expressed desire for it to end. Her conservatorship is to be ruled on November 12th, 2021, and if it is, she will, for the first time in 13 years, be a free woman. So you had some talking points you wanted us to go over?
Yeah, or just like, I don't know. Let's have a little discussion.
Fireside chat.
Well, before this,
Fireside chat.
we were talking about how kind of fame on young musicians can have kind of a negative effect.
Right.
But some people today, like performers like Billie Eilish we were talking about, are able to...
You could also say JoJo Siwa has really broken the mold.
Oh, JoJo? Yeah,
How so?
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, she came out as queer, which while Whitney Houston wasn't a young pop star, she was definitely a pop star that wasn't allowed to come out as queer because she was a product of her time. While JoJo and Billie Eilish have been JoJo has fully come out, and Britney has even teased at the idea that she is queer.
Interesting.
And Britney is also a really interesting take because she's kind of created this mold of tortured teenage star, where we saw her break up with Justin Timberlake. She was completely blamed for it. She was accused of cheating,
Right.
even though she previously told media that she was going to be abstinence till marriage. So it really broke her down, and she kind of just had to apologize for it instead of like her management stepping in and saying that you're being actually really terrible to this 18-year-old child. Yeah.
Right, yeah, and I think we tend to do that a lot with like kids, particularly in like the entertainment industry, and like then act like it's okay. That we're just like breaking children down and expecting them to, I guess, perform when
Yeah.
all these like businesses are built on top of them.
Yeah, yeah. Like Justin Bieber. Like recently, I think that song "Lonely" that he came out
Yeah.
with within this past year, that was all about how when he was at the peak of his fame, he was lonely. I mean, everyone seemed to love him. Everyone was always so happy to see him, but I don't think he ever truly felt like he was cared for.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Or even like more recent examples of like the Stranger Things kids, or like any of these like TikTok kids too. It's like
Charlie D'Amelio and
Charli D'Amelio.
yeah, she's very young, and she just had a documentary come out on Netflix or reality TV show, depending on how you look at it. But that is all we have to say about Britney Spears and fellow child stars. Free Britney.
Free Britney.
That was great, guys. We now have Nastasia and Caitlin who went to see Phoebe Bridgers. They're ready to tell us all about their experience.
What's up, guys? I'm Nastasia and Caitlin, and this is Austin Underground. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about Phoebe Bridgers. We all saw Phoebe Bridgers last week, but at 2 different shows. So do you guys want to go first? Because you guys saw her first before me.
Sure, we could go first.
Yeah, so Nastasia's and I saw her at Stubbs, like kind of down by downtown Austin, and yeah, it was like an outdoor venue. She came on at like 11 p.m., which for a grandma like me, I was like, okay, Phoebe, I got work in the morning. Let's wrap it up. But she was a really great experience. Nastasia and I had a little bit of trouble getting into the venue. Kept being like told to go to different people, which was interesting, but it really added to the experience. It had a certain je ne sais quoi.
That's a
See,
good way to put it.
I thought you were going to say it was the Phoebe fans that were like not letting you in the venue. They're like pushing you away.
Oh my god.
trying to
no,
get in.
they were
actually very
Yeah.
sweet. They were
Okay.
such nice people.
It
Like
was-
everyone I talked to was so cool.
Nice.
It was the most monochromatic concert that I've ever been to. Everyone was so on
Yeah.
theme with the whole like
The
skeleton
skeletons.
Yeah.
Phoebe Bridgers vibes, but also like people kept passing out. So make sure you drink water when you go to these concerts. That's very important.
Yeah, I definitely saw people throwing up on themselves and having to get like carried out by security. So it was intense.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know what was going on. I had to like help this lady get out, like, cause I'm in the front, like taking pictures, like near the barricades, and someone's like calling me. She's like, hey, like I want to get out, I want to get out. So I have to like go and get security and like have her like get out of the crowd, like get pulled out of the crowd.
Oh my
and she like
gosh.
sees me later. She's like, thank you so much for helping me. Like it was so hard to be in there with all those people. I was like, oh my god, like no worries, like I got you.
Oh my
Like,
gosh, I didn't even know
yeah,
about that. That's
no, it was-
insane.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Wow. That's really insane.
Yeah, it was an interesting experience for sure. But she gave a phenomenal show, wonderful performer. You could really see like the bond that she had with the crowd. It was really nice.
Oh, for sure. She opened with Motion Sickness, which
Oh,
I
yeah.
think,
Yeah,
the crowd went
great opener.
wild. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a really good choice. And then she also played Kyoto, like, as one of the first few songs, which was interesting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like it's one of her more popular ones. And I feel like they would normally save that for later. But it was nice to see that, you know. Because that's one of my favorite songs by her. So I love to photograph that one. That was insane. So.
Excellent.
What about you? How was your experience seeing Phoebe?
Mine sounded a little bit different from y'all's.
Okay,
and
yeah.
I think that just has to say something about festival culture, because Phoebe was playing at the same stage as Billie Eilish. So she was like, it was like Billie, no, it was like Phoebe and then Doja and then Billie. So everyone near the front of the crowd was not there to see Phoebe, which sort of like
Shame.
Yeah.
sort of ruins the
Yeah.
experience when you're in the front and everyone's just standing there like completely like not doing anything. Like no one even knows like motion sickness or anything. Like they don't. It was rough, but once you could sort of see throughout the crowd the different Phoebe stands, different farbs.
Yeah.
Fair to say.
Yeah.
Just, you know, they got their signs saying very interesting things I can't really say on live TV.
Yeah.
But they had, you know, they're going for it, and good for them. But yeah, the show, you know, her performance was great. She did the same thing where she opened with motion sickness, and the crowd was very excited for that. Even the ones, you know, because you know it's an upbeat song, so even the people in the front were like, "Yeah, music, awesome." But as the show went on and it went like further into her discography, you could sort of like tell that the vibe sort of changed. It's also kind of weird listening to that music in the middle of the day because it's
Yeah.
like it's really hot and I'm really uncomfortable. And also, this is nighttime music. Like, this should not
That
be
is
happening
Yeah,
right now.
yeah.
I feel like the 11 p.m. sweet spot, even though he might have been a little sleepy.
Yeah, it was perfect. Like nighttime, Phoebe Bridgers. It was good.
And it's not as hot as night too. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of just worked out way better.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for flexing on me like that.
That was a better show.
That feels great, but yeah, so it sort of, it was a little iffy. And then the end, this is where the controversy started.
I think I
So-
saw this. Yeah.
She was playing her last song, and it's I Know the End, and I don't know if you guys saw at the show that y'all went to, but it's sort of like the climactic moment of the entire like concert where she like builds up into it and then she like starts screaming and all of that. Right as she was building up and right before it was about to just like explode into energy, they cut the sound. They just she went 1 minute over her time. 1 minute and they cut it, which is just like it's insane because there were so many different artists that weekend that did go over time. Like Machine Gun Kelly was bragging about how he was like 10 minutes over time and they were still letting him perform. But like Phoebe was like 30 seconds maybe over time and they're like "Goop," and it was right at like the most climactic like part that really needed
Yeah.
sound, which was just, you know, a little sad.
Yeah, I think she was upset too because she like tweeted about it. I can't.
Yeah, she said
Yeah.
some things about ACL, and then ACL responded,
Yeah,
and
they
she said she
apologized,
deleted
right?
that tweet and she said thank you. So that was good.
Yeah, that would have
But-
been so upsetting if she was like, you know what, I'm never coming back to
Oh my
Austin.
God, yeah.
That would be rough for the Farbs that were trying to
Yeah.
stick it out for her. But I think we have to go back to the hosts now. We've had a nice little chat about Phoebe. I'm glad I can make it. Thank you guys for letting me on your panel.
Yeah, of course.
Anytime.
Let's get back to the hosts.
Thanks, y'all. Sounds like you had a lot of fun. Now, we would now like to recognize one of the members of Austin Underground who has put in a lot of work into the show and is getting recognized for their hard work as this week's member of the team. This week, we would like to recognize Jacob for all his hard work.
Thank you. Well, that wraps up our episode for today. Thank you for joining us, and make sure to join us back here next week. Until next time.
Bye.